Hi all. Here we are discussing our project of big data management on food app delivery management system, which is using Google BigQuery and Google Cloud Storage. Here, a lot of functions are defined to ingest the data and process the data, which will be defined in due course of time ahead. And now I hand over to Shikha to tell about the GCP part for the BigQuery part.
Thank you, Aneerban. So in this project, basically we are focusing on three data sets. One is related to the restaurants, which will have all the restaurant details. One is related to the customers, which will have the customer information, and another one is the orders, which will have the information of order ID, customer ID, and the order status details. Going ahead, when this is the schema is created, what we are doing is we are creating the project ID, dataset ID, and the bucket name. This will be associated with the key JSON key. We can show you in our report like how where exactly we are getting this key. Once it is done, then we are connecting our BigQuery client. As an output, we can see we are getting connected to the project ID, which we have mentioned above in BigQuery very successfully. Then we are creating a dataset ID and we are creating the tables. Once it is done, executed, the tables are created successfully in BigQuery. Once the tables are there in BigQuery, our main aim is to load that tables with the data. We have the data in our local machine, and then we are loading that data using these commands into these tables. Once the table is there, the data is uploaded successfully in BigQuery. Just to check what data is uploaded is correct or not, we run a sample query and check the how the data is looking. What is the structure of the table? As seen, the structure of the table is looking correct. Then we are checking the count if the data is loaded completely or not in each table. So in our files we had 1,000 records per table, so that we are seeing in the BigQuery as well. This means we are not missing any of the records. Also we are checking ahead like what are the total orders of unique restaurant IDs. So we are just checking a sample data of limit 5, so we can see, yeah, that the query is working fine for us in this using BigQuery. Thank you. Next part will be taken over by Vanshika. So here we are connecting to the GCS, that is our Google Cloud Storage, through our Jupyter Notebook. It is using the same credentials of service account used to connect to BigQuery. Now we are moving the data kept locally to GCS so that in future the pipeline can be set up and ingest data directly from GCS to BigQuery. Moving on, we are defining a linear regression model on order amount versus number of days since the restaurant has opened. The date order date converts the order date in date time format, and the data days since start calculates the number of days between order date and the first order date. Here we have decided to keep the first split in between 20 as of 20 to 80%, and the model is built on it. Here is the graph of the same. Now we save this model in .pickle file to our GCS bucket. Now I hand over to Aneerban to further explain on Flask API deployment.
Thank you, Vanshika. So when the model is saved, we are now deploying our Flask API model. So here is the code, which is app.py. Herein, we are having the JSON key that we used in our Jupyter notebook as well. Then we are defining a function to get the order summary, which is what is the order status and the count of it. The order status could be completed, pending, and cancelled. This could be useful to understand how many orders are cancelled, to better plan the food delivery management practices, how many are pending, to channelize and handle the workload. Now this is this is implemented, and when we call Python app.py, the this is called, and it is rendered through index.html and styles, CSS styles, and the output looks something like this. So here you can see the local API is open, and it is showing food delivery system, and the order summary is also shown here. Like 326 orders are completed, 353 are pending, and cancelled are 321. So this can help us to identify how how to plan the future orders. I would also like to show you the different techniques that we used here. So this is the big query screen. You can see the three tables are lying here, that is customers, orders, and restaurant. A sample data using the preview option of BigQuery is also being shown here. We have already kept all the data sources, all the codes, files, reports, and presentation over our GitHub area, and a README file is also kept for you to understand and replicate this project at your end. So this was all about our project. Thanks a lot and hope you understand. If you have any queries, please comment on the video and we would be happy to help.